Welcome guys, it is Monday night. We are racing once again here at SARCO. We're in the vintage touring cars, and in the commentary box for now I have Ashley. Ashley, how are you this evening? 100%. And our guest director this evening, Peter Heinemann, how are you this evening? So 100% guys, I'm just giving the guys in the lobby my thumbs up just to let them know that we are ready. So we know that Ashley's going to be racing this evening. Depending on whether he keeps that microphone or not, we might be able to pop in every now and again with him and see how that race is going. The lobby is loading in the background, and what I can tell you is the sound issues that we had on Thursday have all been fixed. 8 hours of troubleshooting this weekend, and I managed to not find the problem, but it is fixed. So we don't have that very weird sound coming through. So let me just jump into the lobby itself. See a message coming there from Sean Prince who's saying you can't hear Ash. So let's just make sure that we can get you up and running. Sean, just let us know, were you able to hear Pete when he did his introduction at all? If not, well. So guys, you're essentially watching Christopher coming out on track, and it does seem like those cars are very loud in my ear. Let's just drop them just a little bit so at least you're able to hear my voice. So as Ashley mentioned, we are at the Czech Republic Circuit. Okay, not able to hear Pete either. We'll definitely get that sorted, guys. We are able to get that fixed. Daniel War Machine Morales, he's joined. Thomas Pretoria saying he can only hear me. Alright, not a problem guys, thank you so much for giving me that feedback. I will just be popping in every now and again with Pete just to make sure that he can hear us. Well, you can hear him. Yeah, Peter, what's happening is on the stream they're not hearing you. Okay, thank you, Sean. We will drop down the game sound because unfortunately my volumes are at the loudest that they currently can go. Just let me know that you're happy with that. Guys, we have had so many weird, interesting challenges with the capture card, which started from Thursday. All of a sudden we had this weird tinny echo, sounded like it was under the water. Troubleshot that for the majority before we got ready for about an hour and a half. Couldn't get it right, but then decided to delete all software that we've got, re-upload it, relink all the things. So there might just be a few little issues that we're having. Okay, let's try that. Pete, give everybody a good evening, and let's see whether they are able to hear you. Oh, Christopher. Going off.
How's it? Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
So I'm definitely picking up your volume there, so let's just make sure. I'm sure between Thomas Pretorius, he's joined in saying hello, saying that he can only hear me. Let's make sure between Daniel, Sean, and Thomas, somebody can hear me. I also saw that Brandon DeSantos, he joined in to say, how's it, guys? Let's just have a quick look to see what's happening on our Facebook page. Remember, we do stream live to both Facebook and YouTube. We had a shot of yes, we can. There we go. So sounds was all good, guys. Sean Princely saying hi, Pete. Yep, all good. So it looks like we are officially back up and running 100%. And man, oh man, Pete, those Ferraris look like they've got their hands full this evening.
Absolutely, Dol. Yeah, no. Practice earlier as well. It's not going to be easy for the Ferrari tonight.
So listen, we know that I did pop my head in a little bit earlier into one of the little practice sessions, and I thought that a 2:13 was quick. Jakes went and did a 2:12.4, and Christopher Radloff was complaining how horrible this car was. Drew's nuts. He goes and does a 12.42, so it goes quicker than Jakes. So look, the Ferraris are going to be tricky here, but it all depends on what happens later on in the race. We understand that the tires of the Camaro don't last. They last about 2 or 3 laps, and that's when the guys got to start slowing down just a little bit, and they're not able to push as hard as they should. So I think it's going to be a huge race of strategy here this evening. So currently having a look at Brandon Hills. He is currently down in 4th place, and I'm pretty sure that he's going to be looking to get a good run here this evening. So Dirkie currently in shot. He's down in 5th place. So we see that the qualifying times are done. So all the drivers who are effectively on a lap now will still be able to continue. We see Lendl in the pits, down in 6th place for Lendl. There is Adrian Bond. He's in 8th place. I'm sure he'll be happy with that. Little car stopping on the track. That is pretty scary, I must say. Guys on the stream, just let us know that you are getting the pictures nice and clear. They're not stuttering or any weird type of things. That is Tyler going very slow. I think that his car is doing its auto drive back into the pits. Marius, a 2:12.0. That is 0.4 quicker than what I've seen. That is absolutely crazy. Christopher, 2:27.5. Pretty sure that he battled to get a good lap in. We just understand that sometimes the time penalties on this track are a little bit harsh, and they seem to come out of nowhere. And Ashley, our driver commentator, battling to get a lap in as well. I can see that he's just shaking his head on our onboard camera. Don't worry, Ashley.
Yeah, I didn't. I just made one silly mistake there, and that cost me my qualifying session. So very tough, especially with the longer track here. You've only got just over 2 minutes to get around here. So if just that silly mistake actually cost me.
Guys, thank you so much for the feedback. Sean Printu saying good picture, Dylan. Greg Thomas, Thompson. Sorry, Greg. You're saying FB and YouTube are all good. Thank you, guys. So, yeah, Pete, keep it up on Gavin. So we are waiting for the drivers just to do their sync up, and we will be racing. And man, oh man, these first couple of corners are just so tricky. So generally going through turns, turn 1 is pretty easy, through turn 2 as well. It is lots of space there. It's when we start getting into turn 3 and turn 4, the track is so wide that you generally find that you could be finding yourself going through there 3 wide, and then the track tightens up going into turn 5 and 6, and that's when some of the contact can possibly happen. So guys, we are awaiting that is lights out and we are racing. Well, that's a great start there by the car number 77. So that is, oh, you can see that there's nearly four wide. Great start there for Jakes. He's moved himself up. Brandon Hills, great start for him. Look at that. He's now moved himself up into 3rd place. Then Durkee in 4th place. That was him in the car number 77. So everyone still keeping enough space from each other. Now we'll head into turn number 3. You can just see how wide this track is. Durkee having a look to the inside of Brandon. And a good move there by Gavin. He's got himself in front of Christopher. But now Christopher will try the cut back as they make their way back down the hill out of turn number 4. You can see side by side Marius deciding to rather just get in behind Jakes. Brandon takes a line. Durkee outbraked himself, and he went a little bit down wide, and he ran himself off. So he's back down in 6th position. But Brandon up into 3rd, and he's really starting to push. We can see Christopher in 4th place, making his way up the field. So he had an absolute fantastic start there. We see Healthy Minders join, saying woohoo, go 80 and Raf. So we do have 80 racing here. He's currently down in 11th place, so not a really good start for him. The current positions as we are halfway through the first lap is Jakes, Marius, Brandon, Christopher, Gavin, Durkee, Lendl, Stephen, Ashley, Tyler, Adrian, or AD as we have got used to calling him, and then Hills, that is Vaughan Hills. All contact in the background there. That was Tyler. Oh, and Vaughan collects Tyler as he goes through there. So Vaughan's going to have an almighty battle for the next 18 minutes or so of this race. So back to the front of the grid we go. Jake's ahead, then it is Marius, Brandon, Christopher, Gavin, then Durkee just about 3 seconds off the pace of the guys in front. But it looks like Brandon's taking a much tighter line going into turn number 1. But now on the exit, a little bit wider. Whoa, there's Gavin in the background. He's spun that around. Not too sure whether he hit that curb. But now he's going to have his work cut out for him, as he's going to have to come back from 10th place. Man, oh man, Gavin was looking so good up there in 5th place, which now promotes Durkee to 5th. But Jakes is still in the 1st position. We jump on board with Christopher in the Ferrari. You can see Brandon, defensive lines, nice and tight in through turn number 5. And this corner is so deceiving, because you think it's a 90 degree, but it does keep closing out itself. See how that rear just squats down as Brandon tries to get that power down. Looks like Christopher got a good run. Will he have a dive on the inside here into turn number 8? He does manage to get it. So a great maneuver there. Brandon saw him coming, and he had to just let him go. But Marius and Jakes out in front, still having an almighty battle. Pete, just jump there to 7th for us, please. We can see Ashley having a great battle with Stephen. And that is Kamara versus the Red Mamba. It was announced yesterday that Stephen has been inducted into the development team for the Mambas. So here he is in Ashley is not supposed to be listening to us. So Ashley looking for an opportunity to put his NASCAR authority over our Mamba development driver.
Oh, jeez. Definitely drives like a mamba.
In other words, he's not making it easy for you. And if you just keep going around the outside, you should be able to sneak on the inside, but he sees you coming and decides to close the door. But now power out, stay on the outside, and you should be able to get enough drive. Why? You should have just stayed there, because he was going to go defensive. But now you can carry the speed
I need a
on the
slipstream,
outside.
Dylan.
And once again, Stephen putting the car in all the right places, definitely driving like a mamba, making it very difficult. Great touch of the brakes there for Ashley. So now Ashley will have the inside going into turn number 3. And unfortunately, that'll be all she wrote for Stephen, but he's not fighting back. He's allowing the space for Ashley. So Stephen will go wide. He's now on the inside for turn number 4. So amazing, a side-by-side action here as they now go down the hill towards turn number 5. And Ashley on the outside. The Foster line, he has been able to hang on to that position. So Sean Prince is saying, Mamba moves are coconuts.
Tell me about it.
Well, Sean, just a note there is that yes, he was very close. He wasn't making it easy, but at no point was there any contact. So I think that was great driving all the way around. And to you too, Ashley.
Thank you. For a change.
So there's Stephen having a little tussle with Adrian Bond. Let's jump back up to 3rd place. Well, we can go to 1st and 2nd because Marius is not letting the veteran Green Mamba get away. Jake says only 0.2 less than 0.3, and that time is coming down as Marius takes advantage of that slipstream. And Brandon in 4th place. He's got Durkee. There's Durkee there coming around turn number 13. So Durkee, one of the Rockstar drivers, teammate to Maljak. So Maljak unfortunately not able to qualify for the Alpha tier, but we will see Maljak up later. So while we just having a look midway through the race, we can just have a quick update of what's happening in terms of these points. I unfortunately am all the way down in 16th place. Then it is Carrot in 15th, then Craig. Stephen in 13th place. He's 4 points behind Vaughan Hills. So I'm sure that Stephen will be looking to keep ahead. Great move there. Morris looked like he wanted to try have a look up on the inside, but Jake saw him coming and just closed that door on him. Then Lendl, he's in 11th place with Tyler Scott in 10th. Adrian Bond, he's in 9th place overall. Ashley is in 8th. Gavin is in 7th. Andrew Horn, he is not here this evening. He's in 6th place. Brandon Hills in 5th. Durkee is in 4th place. Christopher in 3rd. He is 3 points behind Marius, who is 41 points behind Jakes. So with 3 races left to go, there is still anyone's race here between these 3 out in front. And it does look like now that Brandon's been able to, Christopher's got in front of Brandon, is that Christopher is pulling Brandon around. Because some of those times that Brandon is doing, he's now matching Christopher just about lap for lap now, which is really awesome to see. Just for a moment there, it looked like that Ferrari had over-rotated. But I am so glad that they are still going. I see Gavin was in 10th place, so he's got himself up into 10th. And I'm pretty sure that he'll be hunting Ashley down within the next couple of minutes. Still 11 minutes left of this race. Pete, what do you think of the racing so far?
Absolutely amazing. Looks like the Ferraris are battling to stay on this track. But great racing out front, middle pack. Great racing all around.
So it does look like we must just remember that we did hear that the guys were saying specifically in the Camaro, is that later on in the race is that the tires do start letting go a little bit. So that's when the guys need to just start being a little bit more cautious and not overheat the tires. But looking at these lap times, you remember that the qualifying the guys were doing a 2:12, and here they're going mid 2:14. So that's about 1.5 seconds off their qualifying pace.
Yeah, that's very fast. I would drop about a second after lap 2. The tires are that bad.
So there's definitely something that you're experiencing as well then.
Yeah, definitely. That front left, after 2 laps, it's gone.
So having a look at the little battle here between Lendl and Durkee, and in the last lap, Lendl was 0.2 of a second quicker than Durkee, which means that depending on what the times are when they cross the line, is that Lendl is catching up to Durkee, who is in 5th place. And I'm pretty sure that Ashley is going to start hearing Gavin's breathing down his neck in the next lap or so, because there is Gavin and there's Ashley now coming into picture.
I must just add, Dylan, that I am preserving my tires.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. So guys, we have got it from the horse's mouth, so we are anticipating Gavin to overtake so that Ashley can come back strong later on in the race.
Well, there's only 8 minutes left, so...
So the battle for 1st and 2nd is still less than half a second, and 13.9 for Jakes, 13.5 for Marius. So you can just see the pace that these guys are putting down, where Christopher only a 14.2. So Christopher now starting to drop off the pace there. Guys, just let us know what your thoughts are. Who is going to take this first heat? Oh, that looks like Marius got a little bit sideways. Little kick off the rear as he came out of turn number 4. So he's got Christopher all over the rear of him. And depending on how long these two fight for, will Brandon be able to close up that gap? But Christopher looked like he was going to get his nose taken off, but managed to judge that absolutely perfectly and just slotted back behind Marius as he went into turn number 8. But it does look like that Camaro is very quick through that mid sector. You can see how he has been able to already open a little gap already when Christopher was right on the back of Marius. So a very tricky corner here up into turn number 11. You want to get that acceleration down as quickly as possible. Back up the hill. And you're going into a blind braking point. Apex into turn number 13. Then it's just set the car up and then flat out through turn number 14. So 2 minutes 17 there for Marius, so they're definitely showing that mistake. But then we've got Christopher, Brandon, Durkee, and then Lendl. So Lendl now within a second of Durkee. There's the car 4 colored Ferrari. Six minutes left of Heat 1 here in the Alpha Tier. Just remember, guys, that this season is proudly brought to you by Simstuff Racing. If you'd like to find out more. So there's Gavin moving up onto the inside of Ashley as they head towards turn number 3. Ashley's going to have to just take the wider line, but that should allow him to be on the inside now for turn number 4. Unless Gavin says otherwise.
Oh well.
So there's Ashley back on the go. So Ashley, unfortunately, down into 8th place, but he is preserving his tyres, so there is still a chance that he could come back.
Not at this stage. I think the race is over.
So definitely a little battle gonna start heating up, because you can see that time between Lendl and Durkee now 0.8 of a second. As I say, that Lendl goes a little bit wide and a jump to Durkee. So there's Lendl in the background. So it's actually incredible to think that the first 5 places or 6th places are separated by 8 seconds. So it must be so frustrating, because you can see your opponent is just 2 or 3 seconds ahead. Not only your opponent, but you can see the leader on the main straight. So these guys are still very, very close. So there you can see the top 6 places separated by the start and, well, the last corner and the first corner. So now I must just make sure that I get the positions right, because when I disconnected last week, unfortunately I read out some positions wrong and it created a bit of chaos. So apologies for that and all those involved. I do see that there is a time penalty for Marius. So Pete, I don't know if you were able to just find the button that says standings. Should be on the bottom right somewhere, or timing, sorry. No, not that one. Let's put that one back on. Thank you. That's the one. So 1 second penalty there for Marius. So if Christopher's able to find just 1 more second, he might be able to take that 2nd place away from Marius. So Jakes is now convincingly ahead. 2 seconds is the gap now, with 2 minutes of 55. So we will have this lap plus where are they on track? Okay, so now they are going down turn number 10. So we should have this one and 1 more. So we'll have 1 more lap to go. So Christopher is pushing extremely hard. You can see that how that rear is just is going side by side as he gets that power on. And a great drive there for Brandon, currently in 4th place. And it looks like Lendl's made a mistake, because there's now 10 seconds between Lendl and Durkee. And there's Gavin in 6th place, so he's possibly going to have his sights on trying to get himself ahead of Lendl, move himself up into 6th place and put himself in pole for the next one. Just that reverse grid there, Pete. Starting in 6th and getting promoted up into 1st. Do you enjoy that format?
Yeah, no, it definitely keeps things interesting. I totally stuffed it up last week with my penalty I got on the start. But yeah, no, definitely it makes it interesting.
So if you were Gavin, you would be pushing to make sure you get ahead of Lendl in this last lap.
Well, I don't know about me. I don't particularly like to start on pole. I'd probably hang back to 7th if I could.
Jeez. Fair enough. Okay, guys, we are on the last lap, and it looks like Marius has been able to just keep Christopher at bay. You can see Christopher throwing that car in, going into turn number 8. Now out on the exit through turn 9. They'll now head down the hill, and that gap is still 0.3 of a second is what Christopher needs to find. As Marius runs himself a little bit wide there, you can see Christopher a lot tighter going into turn number 10. Now back up the hill. So 0.2 is the gap that is required. Christopher up on the curb into turn number 11. Now will he get a good exit out of turn number 12? You can see this, that rear just stepping out ever so slightly. So that would have cost him some exit speed. So unfortunately it does look like Christopher's going to miss out here by just a couple of hundredths of a second. And Jakes will cross the line in first place. So a great result there for Jakes. And Maljak always says, oh my yes, a natural. So that's a first for Jakes, second for Marius. Christopher will come home in third place. Brandon in fourth. Then Dirkie in fifth position. Followed by Lendl in sixth. Gavin, I'm sure he would have wanted to finish a little bit higher up, but he comes home in a seventh place. Then it is Stephen up against Ashley.
Woohoo!
Stephen finishes in
Eighth.
Where's Stephen?
Eighth.
Stephen, where's your name, Stephen? There, I found Stephen. There's Stephen in eighth. Then we got Ashley in ninth. Vaughan comes home in 10th place, with Tyler in 11th and Adrian in 12th position.
Oh, that couldn't have been too bad. I earned a director trophy.
Oh, there you go. Okay, Ash, I've just dropped the top 6 positions up in the Discord.
Okay.
And a comment there from Greg Thompson saying, ha ha ha, Ash, what was that?
Alright.
So guys, what will happen is we'll have the reverse grid. Lendl will start off in first place with Dirkie in second. Then Brandon, he'll be in third with Christopher in fourth. Marius in fifth. Then Jakes in sixth place. So very, very interesting starting lineup there. Will Jakes be able to come back from that sixth place to take yet another win here this evening? We know that Marius had the pace and he just lost it going out of turn number 6. And I'm pretty sure that he's going to want to get himself back up the order there. So just going to get my thumbs up just to make sure that everyone is ready. And we do go into a rolling start now. All the drivers do need to be in single file. The leader will just make sure that everyone has bunched up, possibly just as they start going back up the hill out of the hairpin in turn number 10. And he'll then lead them all the way up to the start finish line. So Greg, it is only the top 6 that do a reverse grid, and that's because it is absolutely crazy to think that you'll have 12 places having to change positions in theory. We've definitely learned the hard way. So the top 6 just mixes it up out in front, and it definitely does bring us some really, really interesting results. So just remember, guys, what you're seeing on screen is not the positions. you will see that they will just pull off slowly. The guys that need to have people going past them, they'll just stay on the left, and guys will overtake them on the right hand side. So Ashley, during these warm-up laps, what is it that you think of while you're preparing for your race?
At this moment, I'm just thinking, I hope this ends soon. I'm getting annihilated here today. I don't know what's wrong, but obviously I didn't practice enough. But I had a good battle there with Steven, and fortunately on the last lap managed to spin it. I was trying some new drifting moves, thought I had a bit more space. It's
Clearly not what happened.
I put it in the wall, so then Steven came past, and
So I was actually very impressed with Brandon Hills up into 4th place. That's quite interesting. Greg saying there's about an 18-second delay between the Facebook and the YouTube stream. That's pretty interesting, because normally the YouTube is a lot quicker in terms of getting it posted. So thank you, Greg, for that. That's pretty interesting. Greg, I think what might happen, because on the Facebook that is uploaded at a 720, where on the YouTube it should be uploading in full HD, so that's possibly what's causing that delay. So there we have, everyone should be in their positions. So Lendl will lead them, then it is Dirkie, Brandon, Christopher, Marius, then Jakes, then Gavin, Stephen, Ashley, Vaughan, Tyler Scott, and then Adrian. So now they'll head up the hill. This is where Lendl should start just getting the guys to bunch up. You can hear that he's now come off the power. And every now and again, Dirkie gets a little stuck. That was Dirkie into the tire wall off the start. That's very interesting. I wonder if that wasn't a bit of lag there.
no, I think it's lag on your side because he's still in 2nd position. So.
Yeah, what we saw.
Oh, overtaking, guys. Oh my word.
So we are racing. That is looks like 3 wide further down the field. Christopher in 4th place, looking for an opportunity to get himself away from Marius and Jakes, who are chasing in 5th and 6th place respectively. But nice and clean through turn number 1. Lots and lots of space there. As Marius starts looking to the inside. Christopher now is going to have a look on the inside of Brandon, but not enough space there. So Brandon is through there safely. Lendl still leads with Dirkie 2nd, then Brandon, Christopher, Marius, Jakes, then Gavin. Tyler is in 8th place. Then we've got Vaughan Hills in 9th, Stephen is in 10th, Ashley 11th, and Adrian down in 12th place. So we're still about a single foul, but Marius is looking for an opportunity, trying to put a lot of pressure up on Christopher in that Ferrari. But Christopher is fighting with all his might, but he does have Brandon in front of him. So that just is going to hamper the exit speeds that he's going to want to be getting. And Lendl and Dirkie still out in front. But Brandon still within a second as Christopher now on the inside. Not close enough to make a move, but Brandon's a little bit wide. Christopher dives up on the inside. Will Marius be able to follow Christopher through there? Fortunately, he goes a bit wide. That might be a slowdown. We saw both of his inside tires cross that white line. But now Marius very aggressive on the outside. He makes the move up on the inside. And that is now a Brandon down into 5th place. So great maneuver there for Marius. But now Brandon's going to have Jake's hot on his heels as they now exit. They are now going to turn number 14. This is where the Camaro is going to be able to open up its legs. Or I should say horses. But you can see in the front there, Lendl and Dirkie Christopher weaving from one side to the next. Gearing down there for Jake's. Marius's rear steps out through turn number 1. It does look like the Ferraris are a little bit more stable going through turn 1. Where the Camaros are definitely doing a lot more input. Little look to the inside there for Jake's on Brandon. And Gavin's now joining the party. He's not letting this front pack of 6 go. Big power slide there for Vaughan as he tries to chase down Tyler. See, every now and again we just get that glimpse of that yellow Rockstar Camaro just stopped in the middle of the track, but it is what we're seeing is the glitch there from Dirkie. Definitely is still racing. So Adrian starting to just drop back just a little bit because the guys out in front are still doing in decent times. So Lendl still has Dirkie hot on his heels, and Dirkie has a look to the inside. I don't think Lendl had realized that Dirkie had got up on the inside there, so unfortunately he has caused that accident. Lendl rejoining, contact again with Vaughan Hills. So that releases Christopher out in front, with Marius now trying to chase him down in 2nd place. Brandon in 3rd and Jake's now in 4th place. So the battle for the first 5 places is still very, very close. 1.7 seconds separates 1st and 5th. Marius having a look to the inside into turn number 1. Christopher much tighter line. Brandon, you can see he too goes very, very tight on the entry. And those Ferraris are definitely holding that line through there much better now. But Marius still trying to find a way past Christopher. Marius the fastest on the track so far. A 2:13.5 for Christopher. Marius a 2:12.8. So 0.7 of a second difference is the lap time between the 1st and 2nd place driver. Marius still not able to get up on the inside. But it does look like Brandon's turning in early, allowing that rear to let go just to help him rotate. You can see another kick of the rear from Marius's car as he exits out of turn number 7. There's someone on the inside there. Yes, that is Jake. Has had a look on the inside of Brandon. We just saw the glimpse there. Gavin's now trying to follow through as well. Brandon closes the door on Gavin, not allowing him anywhere closer. Oh, Gavin loses the rear coming out of turn number 9. Big moment there. You can see 4 cars just tightening up their line as they exit out of turn number 9 to try and avoid Gavin. And Gavin once again finds himself further down the field. 11 minutes to go. And Ashley, we are code coconuts as Ashley goes up into turn 5th place. Now drops down into 5th. He's got Vaughan Hills on his tail. Will Vaughan have a look to the inside? Going up the hill into turn 11. No, he doesn't. Yo, that was so close, Vaughan. I don't know how he didn't make contact there with Ashley. But now they go into the last 2 corners here on lap number 4. So we definitely got 2 separate battles on. So we got the battle between first, second, third and fourth, and then this battle that we're currently watching, that is between Lendl, Ashley, Vaughan and Gavin. Then there in the background we see AD and Dirkie. Gavin looking to the inside of Vaughan. He has been able to keep that Camaro on the inside line there, so a great move there for Gavin. Where we have seen the Camaros generally running a little bit wider there, but he has been able to hold that line and take that place away from Vaughan. Great move there for Gavin. So back to the front, and Jake's now starting to look for opportunities to get himself ahead of Marius. But that was very close there, Marius on the back of Christopher. You can see now his entry was just a little bit compromised, so that's going to allow James to close up that gap. But Brandon is still in the background there. He's still having his fight. See how that Camaro is being thrown around, and we know that the longer that the Camaro goes sideways for, the more damage it's doing to the tires. The tires start overheating, and then it becomes very tricky to get that power down. You just see Marius losing that wheel, which Jake's now going to try and go around the outside. But Marius now on the inside. Will he go a little bit too wide there? But now Jake's can go on a wider entry and possibly get the drive up the hill as they head towards turns 13 and 14. Jake's just not able to get himself ahead of Marius. Marius definitely taking a tighter line there. We jump down further to the field as Christopher's. He is now the fastest on track, able to open a gap there. So Ashley trying to find as much slipstream advantage as he can as Lendl now moves back to the racing line. But that's going to put Ashley on the inside. Ashley just about loses his breath there as he tries to hold him on the inside line with Gavin now on the outside. Gavin following up behind Lendl. But now that's going to leave Lendl on the inside for turn number 3. Into the braking zone they go. Lendl is still fighting back against Ashley in the Camaro. But now Ashley on the inside now for turn number 4. Just got to keep it nice and tight. And Lendl is sliding it sideways as he exits out of turn 4. Tucks up in behind Ashley. Has a look to the inside for turn 5. Ashley goes a little bit sideways. That's going to hurt his exit speed. But it does seem like he's moving himself away from this battle. Gavin now moves to the inside. So Gavin has now been able to get himself on the inside of turn number 7. So he's moved himself up into 5th place. And Lendl now down into 7th. Pete, you're going to have to help me here. I can't keep talking.
This is good racing, man. I'm laughing. Beautiful stuff.
So I just took a little slicky of my magic water just to help soothe the throat. But this is the battle.
Are you using your SARCO bottle, Dylan?
I am not.
Whoa, that's probably why you're battling it.
So Ashley, I'll ask you, are you using your SARCO bottle, Ashley?
No, you can't drink and drive.
Yeah, you shouldn't. So I'm not, because that is went into the washing to get cleaned this afternoon. So I'm using my Batman one. 6 minutes left, and man, oh man, what crazy racing we're seeing here from the Alpha tier. Just knowing that the Bravo tier will be starting in the next 5 minutes or so, as Christopher gets that a little bit loose, and he's now been absolutely swamped by Marius and by Jakes. So Christopher now unfortunately losing that first place. Will Marius have a look around the outside? Jakes wanting to go on the inside. But now that's released Marius out in front. Jake's very, very sideways going into turn number 4. But Christopher's still trying to fight back. But I think that this is what Marius and Jakes have been waiting for. Just that little opportunity. Just hanging on to those tires. Cannot believe how close Christopher gets his car to the back of Jakes. You can just see those minor corrections just to counteract the rear sliding out. And all 3 of these cars, you can see all 3 sliding out of turn number 9. Now heading down towards the hairpin at turn number 10. So Marius is wide. Is that going to allow Jakes to go up on the inside as Gavin now fights back against Christopher? So Jakes not able to take advantage of Marius going a little bit wide there. But now they're going to be heading up on the hill. You can see Christopher took a very, very tight line, and that's going to give him a good drive on the way out. But just a little slap of the rear as he touched that outside curb. So 4 minutes left. Pete, just jump back down there to 6th place just to see what's happening there, because that is Ashley, Gavin.
Nothing to see here, Dylan.
Absolutely a crazy battles happening here, and I must say I'm actually very surprised because Ashley is very sideways. Gavin sees that Ashley might have just overcooked it. Gavin controls the slide. That's going to allow Lendl to go around the outside. So Lendl now up into 5th place, and Ashley no, apologies. So Gavin in 6th has now Lendl up into 6th place, and Ashley in 5th, saying that he might have picked up some damage. What was it that you did there? Did you touch those tires?
I think it was something to do with the tires going flying.
Okay, so we didn't see that because it looked like that that Dirkie had hit those earlier. Right, Pete, let's just jump back to our race leaders. So there is Marius still in 1st place, followed by Jakes in 2nd. Marius very sideways down the hill into turn 6. And Christopher very sideways as he powers on through turn number 7. See flames flying as Marius goes down into 2nd gear. All 3 cars rotating. You can see all of them sliding out of the corner as if they had been practicing this for days and days together. So guys, we'll have 1 more lap after this. And it does seem like the drift that Christopher had going there hasn't really helped him, but the little kick of the rear has helped Jakes get right up on the back of Marius as they now head up the hill, and we will only have 1 more lap left. So guys, just let us know what you think about these current battles. There's Brandon down in 3rd place, so he's still in shot. Oh, that's Ashley spinning it around, which looks like it is at turn 12. So that's Ashley now down into 8th, which now releases Gavin up into 5th and Lendl into 6th place. So into turn number 1, you can hear Jakes just feathering that throttle, getting that car into a perfect little slide. So to the Bravo tier, guys, I'm pretty sure that those invites should be out shortly. Ooh, Jakes is wide. Is that Christopher going to be able to get up on the inside there? Didn't really look like he was able to get there. Christopher is very sideways. Smoke's flying. But he has been able to hang on to it. Now down into 6th place, Christopher. Big power slide there for him. I wonder if that is now for the show, or did he get it wrong and he just turned that into something quite spectacular. Jakes and Marius are once again fighting hard now in front as Christopher drops a little bit further behind.
I think that's the end of the evening for me, race-wise. So I think it's time to join you in the commentator's box.
Well, you still got to get it across the line. Or if you're tired.
Well, I'm stuck in the pits because they're repairing my vehicle.
Ah, got you. Just jump to the front there, please, Pete, because we've still got Marius and Jakes 0.3 of a second to go as they go up towards turn number 11. This is where a kick of the rear can ruin an exit speed. Jakes within 0.4 of a second. Now into turn number 13. And it looks like Marius has been able to fend off Jakes' second win there. So Marius comes home in first place. An absolute great result there for him. Christopher in third place, then Brandon in fourth, Gavin, he'll come home in fifth position. Then in sixth place is Lendl with the Vaughan Hills in seventh. Dirkie should be able to bring it home. There he is there in eighth place with Tyler. Ooh, Dirkie running one bumper less. Tyler in ninth place with Stephen in 10th position. There's Adrian in 11th place and Ashley, who will still be on track. Ashley will come home in 12th.
Hey, my lucky number.
Cool.
Actually, I don't think I'm going to finish this race.
Well done, guys. Good racing. I'm going to go join my lobby.
Cool. Thanks, Pete. Thanks so much for helping us out, man.
Thank you.
Sorry, guys. I'm muted. Yeah, it was a good race, but I messed up too much, too many times. Yes, we had a good dance. It was great. Stephen as well. Yes, even I had a great battle.
Ash, could you just get Jakes, Marius, and Christopher into the lobby, please?
Can Jakes, Marius, and Christopher join us in the lobby, please?
Discord, apologies.
In the Discord, sorry. Well done, guys. Great race.
Yo, nice race, man.
Okay.
Evening, gentlemen. Welcome. And holy cow, that was some crazy racing. We just want to get Christopher in here as well. And there is the man we were talking about. Christopher, Mr. Flat Out himself.
All your screens froze on me, so I'm just going to go in or out and in again.
Perfect. Thank you, my Jakes. Christopher, an absolute crack of a race there for you. That Ferrari was being thrown left and right, sideways. A little mistake for you in the second heat. Otherwise, do you think you could have hung on to that for the win?
I highly doubt it. I had absolutely no tires left. I gave it absolutely everything I could, and ran maybe half a meter wide, and that was that. Just that Ferrari understeers so much that if you don't use the rear, it's just you'll never get the front turn. So I broke a little bit too late. Marius had some big pressure behind me, and then on the dirt on the outside, I just ran deep and then couldn't get the front turned. And no matter what I tried to catch them again, there's nothing that I could have done. But they drove absolutely brilliant. The first and second race, they were untouchable tonight. Well done, guys.
Yeah,
Thanks, Christopher.
definitely.
Flat out.
I did want to just give a little punt there to Brandon Hills as well, because he got himself into 4th place. And the second heat, he was definitely a lot closer to you guys than he was in the first one. So I think it's just a matter of time where all of a sudden your little threesome you guys have got here is going to become 4.
I do need another Ferrari up there. I won't lie. I'm getting bullied at the moment, so it would be great.
It was absolutely awesome to watch. And then, shame, poor Gavin. He, I think, just pushing too hard, trying to stay with you. But then there was one point where the top 6 were separated by 2 seconds, and you could see all 6 cars going down the main straight. It was absolutely fantastic. So looking forward to more of that. Then let's go to you, my Jakes, because unfortunately with Marius having won the last heat, technically he goes ahead of you. So let's go a win and a second for you. Happy with the racing this evening?
Yes, I knew Marius was going to be very fast. The first race, he was basically the only guy that really put some pressure on me. I know Christopher had some steering problems with that Ferrari, so I knew we have one up on him there. Marius really kept the pressure on there. And in the second race, that was difficult to come past those Oaks, especially past this Ferrari of Christopher, but he managed to make a little, I thought he did that on purpose, not to let me pass there. But I made use of that little mistake that he made there, and that's where me and Marius both passed him. And I just knew that I'd just keep it on the road there, and I will put some distance between the two of us, and then I tried to catch Marius, but catching him is one thing, but passing him was another thing, and I just couldn't pass him. He was just too fast. Nice racing there, Marius, and Christopher, also well done, buddy.
Thanks, man.
Cool, man.
Awesome. Let's go to you, Marius. You did mention that in the qualifying you managed to get down to a 12, but in the little practice lobby that you had said is that what happens with the Camaro, once those tires get up to heat, the times just seem to come down. What was the plan? Just stick behind Jakes and Christopher, and then when you got that opportunity, just give it stick till the end for the last couple of laps?
Yeah, that was the plan, but I made a mistake, and I slowed down, but it never went away anyway, and I could just never get back that gap again. The only reason I got past Christopher was because of something happened to him, if I'm not mistaken.
He locked up and went wide. He made a mistake.
Yeah. I was concentrating so hard not to make a mistake. It was because the tires was really slippery after 2 or 3 laps. So it was difficult racing.
Yeah.
But Jakes and Christopher forced me to race, and that buggered the whole thing up a little bit. But it was a great battle. But driving behind Christopher, I could see he was battling. That I think I gave him a little tap 3 times in the middle of a corner. That's how slow he went in the middle of the corner.
They call that the Mamba move. It's like,
Yeah.
There, Ashley, now you know what it's called.
Yeah, but it was a great battle. It was so close, so close. It was concentrating very hard. Sure, that was good racing there, Jakes.
We actually
Thanks,
got
man.
a picture of the 3 of you coming out of turn number 6, and Jakes goes first sideways, Marius goes sideways, Christopher's goes sideways. Got all 3 cars going out. It actually looked really awesome. So, guys, thank you so much. I see that the Bravo tier, they've started in the background. We hope to see you on the chat. Guys, thank you so much, and can't wait to see what happens next week.
Good,
thanks,
guys.
man. Cheers.
Cheers.
Right,
Thanks,
Christopher,
guys.
well done with that car, man. I'm telling you.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Wood.
Sure.
Awesome job.
Thank
Okay,
you.
cheers. Cheers, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
So Dylan, if you could just put up the live stream so I could just see what's going on, please.
Will do. Let's just get that up. So there we go, guys. That is the Bravo tier that have just started. Just giving Ashley the view so that he's able to see what is happening.
Excellent, thank you very much, Dylan.
Quick question, Ashley. Do you
Yeah.
know who our race director is? Because I thought that was you.
No.
Because I do see that the camera's on Robert Stoltz, which means that there is somebody that has been made the race director.
Sorry, Dylan, I didn't realize I was supposed to be the... Even though you did actually specify. It's
Hold on.
Tyler. It's Tyler.
There we go. Thank you, Tyler. So, guys, we have figured out Brandon DeSantos stopped in the middle of the road, but no, he's not. There he is. So Tyler is our race director. Thank you, Tyler. We weren't quite sure because we could see that there was somebody changing the cameras, but I thought it was Ashley because he would be commentating with me. But thank you very much for that. Ashley is watching the stream through the Discord. So, guys, we have 13 drivers here this evening in the Bravo tier. And you can see that that is second place, BUG. That is Bugs joined. That is Neil, a new driver that has joined us. He was on the reserve list, and he's now been given the sign up to say, time for you to come and drive with us. So here we go. Then we do have I'm pretty sure that Terry's here, but then I see there's Terry Wolfred saying, go Brandon. So Terry not racing with us this evening.
I must say, Dylan, that
There we go. Yes.
we've recently heard that Brandon Santos has got himself a Thrustmaster T300, which means this is going to be his first race in this vintage touring car with a steering wheel. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do with the steering wheel. You know how good he's been on the controller. So I think it's going to be a very interesting night for him.
Most definitely. Well, we can't say that this is his first race because he did do a little 5x5 Saturday night social night racing with us, and I must say that he was definitely running up there in the top 5. So Brandon, we do see lots of interesting things are going to be happening this evening. Very difficult to get a time in here, Ashley, because we did see it earlier on, is that it's just over 2.5 minutes for your outlap, and then you basically have to get to the start finish line within that 2 minutes before you're able to get that lap and get a time lap in.
Absolutely. And that was what I experienced on my qualifying round, is that on my first flying lap I made a little mistake, and that invalidated the lap and the next lap. So that was pretty much my qualifying session done. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see that again in the Bravo tiers. It is very difficult. I mean, the time to get around here on a good lap, I mean, we've seen the Alpha tiers is a 2-minute 12. The guys doing really well here, doing 2-minute 14s in the Bravo tier, but still, I think we're going to see 2 flying laps here on this track this evening.
Well, that's it. That flying lap is done. So for the guys that still need to cross the start finish line, we can see Ross down in 13th place. He's in the pits. He didn't get a timed lap in, so that's going to put him way down. Then you can see some of the guys coming through 218, 219, 220, and that's essentially the out lap.
Yeah. So a lot of guys being caught out here. So I'm feeling a little bit better about my performance this evening.
So far, that is Rudi. He's out at top.
I must say Rudy's been very quick this season. We saw him at the previous races where he qualified in pole position. And during the races, he's also had a good pace.
So there's in shot is Neil, first time racing here with us at SARCO, and Ross, a no time put up. We know that he did have a massive rush back after collecting a car. So I wonder whether that wasn't the reason he didn't get himself stable, just still a little bit flustered. There's Rudi currently fastest on track, but there are still some guys that are on flyers, and the guys that we are going to be wanting to watch is Brandon DeSantos, Ryan, Rudi, Pete. He hasn't done his quickest lap yet. That's him there in car number 47. So he's fighting extremely hard as they now exit out of the last corner down the main straight. You can start seeing the times changing. No, we cannot. So Rudi out in front with Mal Jacques in second place. Brandon Santos is third. Then it is Ryan, Pete, Dane, Robert, Louis, Colin, then Johan.
Dylan, just look at those 2 times at the top there. Less than a tenth between, sorry, 1,000th of a 6,000th of a second between Rudi and Rockstar Mal. This is going to be an interesting race.
Absolutely
and,
incredible.
Just check out Brandon. I think he's going to have a very good race himself as well.
So Brandon DeSantos there in third place, driving in car number 44. I see that we don't have Tyler in our Discord anymore, so we're not able to chat to him. So Rudi driving for Simstuff Racing, Mal driving for Rockstar Racing. Then it is Brandon DeSantos for Rough Riders. And then a Sarge for Chasing Beaver. So 4 different teams, and we are racing, and that's a great start there by Rockstar Mal, launching that Camaro out into first place. And it looks like Rudi is going to lose another place to Brandon as they go into turn number 1. Rudi going and holding his line on the wider exit, while Brandon up on the inside. But now Rudi will be on the inside as they transition through turn number 2 and down towards the turn number 3. A very tricky corner here because you actually carry so much speed as you see that you're braking on a downhill. And lots and lots of cars now in the background there going into turn number 3. Now back over the hill down towards turn number 5, and I must say this turn number 5 is definitely tricky because it tightens up in terms of the width of the track. Is that it is definitely a narrower when you are running wide compared to when you're going down the hill there.
Yeah, Dylan, and a brilliant start there by Rockstar Mal, Jock, as you mentioned. Looked like Rudi just bogged down on the grid there, and it was lucky actually to keep that position because Brandon also seemed to struggle a little bit, but has recovered well. In 4th position there's Sarge, one of the first Ferraris, followed by Sly Pete.
Yep.
Sly Pete was helping us in the Alpha Tier not so long ago. Sorry, the previous race, should I say. And now we can see him on track showing what he's made of.
Then we got JohannVdV in 6th place, so he's got himself in a really good position. He is followed by Louis and then Dane Colin down in 9th place. Then we do have Raf in a 10th, and I'm sure that the Raf fan club will be jumping on shortly and saying, "Go Raf, go!" Back to the battle for 1st, 2nd and 3rd place. We see that Brandon Hills, he has joined us. Great racing there for you, Brandon. 2 4th places for you. Just a few more races and you'll definitely join the 3-sim out in front there, man. We've got all the money riding on you to make that a reality. So Rockstar Mal has definitely got Rudi putting a lot of pressure on the back of him.
Ooh.
As we jump a little bit back, Louis getting lots of pressure.
That's from Johan.
Johan going late entry into that, a great maneuver at the end of that. A really good move there. So Johan back into 6th place. So he must have just made a little mistake, which because Johan was originally in 6th. So I think that was just going into that turn number 1.
Ooh, this battle now getting really intense between the front runners here as Rockstar Mal has got Rudi all over the back of him, and followed closely is Brandon DeSantos. And I think Brandon is just holding off for now, and hoping something will happen between these two in front and give him the opportunity to get past.
No, but I must say that both Jacques is an extremely patient driver, and we've also seen it from Rudi. He'd rather just take a more cautious route than go diving into a corner.
Yeah, they're a little bit too cautious, I reckon, but he gets a better inside line there, and he's going to try get. Looks like he gets a little bit of a better drive. No, Jock manages to just get in front of him, and we see now Brandon closing right up on the back of these two. And will we see a move from Brandon DeSantos? He's now getting a slipstream behind Rudi, and now can smell blood. Definitely going to go for the attack, I think, anytime soon.
Rudi is up on the
Rudi.
inside, so great maneuver there for Rudi. Jacques, I see it coming. Will he go a little bit wide? Because now Brandon's going to try and follow around the outside. Yep. So a great opportunity there for Brandon. He's going to have the slipstream advantage from Rudi ahead. So that was Jacques now going from 1st place down into 3rd in just a matter of two corners and the start-finish line. but Jacques held up on the inside. Brandon tries to do a little cutback, but too much inside curb there, so he would have had to come off the power.
Yeah, very lucky not to spin it around there, because these cars don't like to go farming. So he was very lucky not to spin it there. So we see Rudi now still in the lead, or has taken the lead from Rockstar Mal.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Rockstar Mal is now giving, returning the favor and applying the pressure now to Rudi.
Also see in fourth place is Sarge, so he's the second fastest of he is the fastest of the Ferraris. I'm pretty sure that he's also going to be wanting to just hang in there to get some points in the bag. I do see that Johan was in sixth place, so he's been dropping further and further down the order. Ross, surprisingly, look at that, Ross now up into seventh place. So
I just wanted to say that, Dylan, that's
putting some pressure on Louis soon.
Sorry, man. I see that's also doing the similar times to the front runners. But look at that last lap there from Brandon, a 2-minute 14.8. So, judging by the qualifying times, that's pretty spot on to what we saw during qualifying. So he's now found some pace, and hopefully he'll be attacking soon on the back of those two up in front.
So it does look like Sarge made a little bit of a mistake there, because he is now down into seventh place. Sorry, Sarge. That was most definitely some commentator's curse. But it does look like Rudi and Jacques are starting to open up a little gap ahead of Brandon. And I must say, those two are taking a very wide line going into turn number 13.
You can see Brandon maybe just being a little bit more cautious, maybe just protecting those tires. We know towards the end of this race, those Camaras seem to like to slip and slide as the tires go off. And now closing on the back of Rockstar Mal. And hopefully it looks like he's going to go for the slipstream here, but just not close enough to challenge for that second position. Great line here by Rudi. A bit wide there for Rockstar Mal. And actually that seemed to work for him pretty well, because he's on the back of Rudi. But he's brought Brandon going now on the inside, looking on the inside. And decides not to go past. Just tucks behind these two, just abiding his time, waiting for the right moment. And great shot here from on board Brandon. As you see him going a different line there to Rockstar Mal, maybe going a little bit too wide there and losing a bit of time, but tight on the apex on this corner. And a better corner. Ooh, look at the Rudi going a bit sideways there.
Big slide there for Rudi, and that's out of turn number 9. So very, very tricky there. So thank you, Tyler, for jumping back in the Discord. Just that we could chat, just to make sure that we are aligned in terms of cameras. So we have lost a driver. I see that we are now down to 12. So it looks like we've lost Colin. So a great battle still going on. A slight peak under major pressure there by Louis. So Louis putting himself, looking for an opportunity to get himself up into 4th place. So that's a absolute fantastic drive there for Louis.
Yeah, Pete going on the defense there, and not allowing this to be a very easy pass for Louis. Louis then taking a different line as the exit onto the last corner, going down the main straight. Tries to tuck him behind Pete. And will we see him challenge here in the first corner? He looks to the inside, thinks about it, but then decides not to. Ooh, we see Pete losing a little bit of traction there. And looks like Louis managed to get a bit of drive here. He goes to the inside, goes to the outside. Back on the inside again, he's going to try.
there's just so much space on the inside there, so he should be able to just sneak through. No, Louis decides to rather just let Pete go, but I might be able to try the cutback here, because no, that's wide. I just hope that that is not a time penalty. And there's Ross in 6th place, so he's still hoping to get himself closer to this battle, because every little point counts.
I'm sure he'll be kicking himself from the qualifying, making that mistake. And well, look, he's in 6th position, so that will start him nicely in the next race. He'll have pole position if he finishes the race in this position. But knowing Ross, I think he would like to be up here with Louis and Sly Pete, getting that 4th position.
So a little snap of the rear there for Louis, which is now allows Pete just to open up a little gap, because now I'm pretty sure that Ross can smell some blood in the water. Atala, if we could just jump to 1st and 2nd there, please, because 0.3 or now 0.5 of a second. Rudi has Rockstar Mal right behind him.
Wow, almost a train of cars there for a moment. I only saw 2 cars, and then there was Brandon just be tucked behind them. So Brandon now applying the pressure. I think he has been nursing those tires, and now he sees with only 8 minutes left to go, I think he's going to start pushing. But Rudi, a nice comfortable gap at the moment.
Look at those times: 16:04, 16:14, 16:142.
Absolutely nothing in it.
Crazy how close those guys are driving.
Well, you see Ross in 6th position, also doing a 2:16, and Sarge a 2:15 on that last lap. So also, what should I say, almost a 2:16 dead.
Brandon, you can have a look on the inside. Was enough space there when the cameraman changed? Not enough space, but I think Brandon's now made his intentions clear. He's going to start pushing for those opportunities. I do see that HM Man West, he's saying Lakatoki Lakaroot. So yes, they're having an absolute great battle. Johan is no longer in this race.
So it looks like he may have disconnected, so that's most unfortunate. That's Johan from Simstuff Racing, our sponsor for this league.
So Ross now getting ever so closer to the battle ahead of him, and that is Ryan in 7th place. He still hasn't given up the battle, because he is currently the fastest driver on the track. In shot is Dane in 8th place, and right behind Dane he's got Robert. And I must say that Robert has definitely struggled a little bit with his Camaro, because we've seen him in Assetto Corsa putting in some really good times there. And a newcomer, Neil, in the car number 77, I'm sure he's definitely felt those nerves, understand what online racing is now all about, and I'm pretty sure that he'll be back for more.
So this battle up in front still fiercely contended, as you see. Brandon now giving Rockstar Mal a different run for his money, and applying their pressure, trying to get the slipstream on the straight there, and tucking in behind the first corner. As we drive on board with Brandon, you can see he's not giving up. He wants that first position, or even second if he can. Goes on the inside, shows Rockstar Mal that he's there. Unfortunately, the gap gets closed, and he'll have to try again.
So that's actually quite interesting, seeing what Jacques is doing. Is just as he gets to that apex, he just touches the brakes again, just to get the nose down, and then he once again applies the pressure. The brake accelerator, he runs wide, so that puts Brandon up on the inside. Now will Jacques be on the outside? We're not sure. It sounds like I can hear him on the inside, and there is Jacques as Tyler jumps back to the trackside camera. So great driving by both of them. Brandon made his intention clear. Little a touch on the back of Brandon and Jacques. But that is so close. It didn't look like it actually affected him. So yes, it did bump him, but it didn't upset Jacques' car. What it has done, however, is allowed Rudi to open a 1.8 second gap now, where they were all within that second.
Yeah, Rudi must be loving this battle between Brandon and Rockstar Mal, because that's allowed him just to breathe a bit and focus on what he has to do with 34.5 minutes left on the clock now. It's basically his race to lose. As you see Brandon then going on the outside. It looks like he's got pass.
He has.
He's managed to get pass.
It looks like he got the drive coming back up the hill. So guys, at the current pace that these guys are going, we will have this lap and one more. So only 2 laps left of this race. And I must say, I am very, very impressed with the start of the race. All 3 have been pretty clean, which means that the guys can get down to the racing. But now Jacques fighting back on Brandon as they go through turn number 1. Will Jacques now move to the inside and set himself up for a move into turn 3? Tyler, can you just jump there to 3 and 4, because Louis got himself right up behind Pete now. So that is Ferrari versus the Camaro, and then further back.
Looks like Ross has made a mistake, and Sarge has got past Ross, and looks like Ross has picked up a penalty for his effort.
Down in 7th place. So and that's what caught my eye. But so when I looked again at the score, it just didn't make sense, because Ross wasn't where I thought he would be.
What was the score, Dylan?
The score. I mean the time, not the score. Oh! Ross, I think, got onto the back of Ryan, realized that if he didn't get out of the way, he probably would have pushed Ryan off. So Ross took to the dirt and has now allowed Ryan to move away from him. And it looks like Ryan will be able to take this 6th place now, which will put him right in the front for the next race.
Absolutely. But unfortunate luck there for Ross. So we're not sure what happened there, but it has definitely cost him. But this battle out in front, still a fierce one between Brandon and Rockstar Mal, as Rudi manages to pull another second gap on this battle. And now Brandon just thinking, I've just got to get this car home. Ooh, when he goes, gets out of shape. No, Brandon. That's not what we want to see. And that's put
Mal Jacques on his roof.
Oh, he's lucky to get back down again. I wonder if Brandon actually assisted him to get back down again. But now we've got the guys, Sly Pete and Louis, right on the back of this. Oh, and I can see Rockstar Mal has picked up some serious damage. So he's unfortunately out of this race. But now let's see if Brandon can fight off Sly Pete, who smells blood. And he knows that Brandon would have most likely picked up damage from that little incident. So he's going to now apply pressure. And then you see Louis now getting into the action. So we can get the 3x3 cars wide here into this tricky section coming up. Brandon managed to get away, but still battling with that car. And I think that just shows you these Camaros are chewing up those tires towards. Oh, there's somebody in front there. Who's that? Was that Rudi?
No. So that was Neil. That was Neil.
Oh, for a moment there, I thought Rudi made a mistake. So looks like Brandon has managed to recover, but out in front, your leader, Rudi. And I think this would be the last lap for Rudi.
27 seconds left, and it does look like Brandon might have not really picked up too much damage. But I must say, Louis down in fourth place is doing a sterling job, putting as much pressure as possible on the back of Sly Pete. He does have a few more corners where he's able to. Then Pete goes very wide, so that's going to free up Louis on the inside. So that's Louis now up into third place, and Pete now into fourth. So up out through the last corner goes Rudi. So an absolutely a sterling drive there for him. Rudi crosses the line in first place. Second place will go to Brandon. Third place, Louis.
Yep, and we see there Sarge crossing the line in fifth. Shark, Rockstar Mal, unfortunately, finished the race in sixth position, but that will start him in pole position for the next race. So not all loss there for Rockstar Mal. In seventh position, we have Ross, who did quite well to get up to sixth, and then unfortunately made a mistake there. In eighth, we have Dane. Ninth, we have Robert, and in 10th, Silverback MTB, and in 11th position, we have Bugger Joint. So Tali, if you can hear me, just don't forget to save the replay if you can. So guys, if you would like to get involved and become a part of the SARCO family, go check us out on Facebook. You can also check out our website, sarcoracing.co.za. On there you'll find out all the details and how to become a member and what is all required. You can also buy some merchandise if you like. We have a cool cap you can see Dylan wearing and myself. And if you want, there's water bottles and a nice mask for those guys who want to protect themselves during COVID. I think it's a must and a necessity to have. So definitely try get yourself on one of those merchandise.
So guys, we've managed to get the points in. The guys are just going to get ready into the rolling start. Just making sure that everybody is back in the lobby. It does look like we do have the 13 drivers that are back. I'm able just to get my thumbs up so that they know that I am ready to go. And then we will be racing once again. Formation lap and back into the racing.
So a very exciting race there, and I was really impressed with those top three drivers. Unfortunate incident between Brandon and Rockstar Mal, but Rockstar Mal will have the upper hand in the next race. He finished in sixth, so that will put him on pole position, and that'll help him, I reckon, just to have a little breather. And maybe give him a little chance to get away. But anything can happen with these vintage cars. Not the easiest vehicles to drive, and the tires seem to go off quickly, especially in the Camaro. Camaro's tires doesn't seem to last. They seem to overheat with the tight twists and turns of this BRNO circuit. But nevertheless, I think we go up for a brilliant second race. Yeah, SARCO, Privateers, and the Vintage Series that we're running this evening.
So we are still waiting for more of those thumbs to go up so that we can get going. And we will be going straight into the race. See more thumbs going up. So that was Ross who just said that he is ready to go. So guys, while we're all waiting for that, let's just have a quick peek at our sponsor video.
So there you have it, guys. Simstuff Racing. If you guys want to find out a little bit more, please contact Johan. Johan is racing here this evening in the Bravo tier. His alias is JohannVdV. But if you would like to get those makeshifts and those button boxes, give him a call. They only are compatible with Project Cars on the console at the moment, but he is working on getting something ready for the Assetto Corsa. A bit trickier compared to the Project Cars, but I'm sure in time he will find a way to get something out for you guys. Those makeshift units are made specifically for the G29 Logitech steering wheel. But if you guys have any other Sims racing requirements and would like to know a little bit more, please check him out or give him a call.
Yeah, all those details will be in the description below. So Tal, I'm not sure whether you're in the chat party. You're just not sure.
They might be creating a chat lobby. That's probably what's taking time.
Dylan, we just trying to get the rest of the guys in the chat party.
Okay.
Some of them are still in the game chat.
Understood.
So we'll be a minute or so.
Thank you very much.
Sure.
So there you got it, guys. Just waiting to get all the drivers in the chat party, and that's just so that the lead car is able to give the instruction to everyone behind, and just making sure that he is bunching everybody up. So by the time they do come around the last corner, they are ready to go racing.
Yeah, guys, it's just a bug that we picked up in the Project Cars racing that as soon as we do the second race, it's somehow, some reason why it mutes all the mics. So to get around this, we've created, and you can see all the mics are muted there. To get around that, we decided just to create a chat lobby so the guys can at least communicate with each other and to avoid any misunderstanding.
Indeed.
So this BRNO Circuit, Dylan, is it a favorite track of yours by any chance?
No. Definitely not.
I gotta agree with you there as well.
I must say, it is such a technical track. Is that Dirkie actually put his finger on it and said, on this track, you're always working, you're always doing something. is that there are very, very few times where you're able just to have a little relax and take it easy, because you're constantly fighting your wheel all throughout the race.
I can only think of one person who really loves that track and he doesn't race cars. That's Brad Binder.
100%. Well, they do the MotoGP here.
See, I think Johan forgot that this is a rolling start and was pushing for the lead there. And then suddenly realized, ooh, who's that on the back who's flashing their lights? It's Johan. So maybe it was actually not Johan, my apologies, may have been someone else.
Oh, so out in front is a bugger joint, so that is Neil.
So are there two 36s? I think maybe that's where the confusion is. Anyways, if you guys have just joined us, the drivers are just getting into position for the second race and the final race of this evening in the vintage touring cars. So what is happening is that the top 6 that finished from the first race are in reverse grid position. So just to make it easier, the first lap of the race is a formation lap where everybody can just get into position, and then we start the race from there. And believe it or not, some of the guys forget that they have to get into that it's a formation lap but not the beginning or the start of the race.
So Jacques, he will lead us away with Sarge in second place. Then it is Pete in third, Rudi in fourth place with Brandon in fifth, then Rudi in sixth. Huh?
That's right, Ross in seventh, Dane in eighth, Robert in ninth, and
it was the Ryan and Rudi that confused me, because I'm pretty sure that I'd said an R. I'm like, okay, but it's Ryan and Rudi, they're different names.
correct.
Oh!
Whoa, so who's that? Somebody warming up their tires a little bit too aggressively and pulled a corner move. Luckily not breaking anybody's ribs in the process.
Yo, did not expect to see that.
It happens.
So I'm assuming Connor broke your ribs.
Very, very close. So it looked like it was, I'm not sure who that was in the background that went to.
Well, it looks like we are down to 12, so we have lost Neil. So now Jacques is taking the guys through turns in number 14. So message coming from Dirkie saying, Jacques, this one is yours to win. We can only imagine. So a good single file there as they now start creeping towards the start-finish line. So that was the start line. So they are technically racing. And Pete has got a good drive. Well, there's a little Ferrari in the background there, just jumping out. So that is Dane. Well, no, that is Raf. So that's 8th position is Raf. So he's moved up one place. And Jacques starting to pull away a gap between himself and Ryan in second. But it's going to get very congested here in the middle as Pete in 4th place has got Rudi and Brandon side by side.
No, it looks like Brandon and Rudi touched again, but fortunately didn't end up in tears this time. Rudi being a little bit aggressive, trying to get through the mid-packs here, and not paying off that time, actually losing position to Brandon. And and that's dropped him down to 6. Now he's got Ross on the back of him, who will definitely want to get further up to the top of the field in this race. So Brandon and Santos right behind Sly Pete now. Sly Pete seems to be just holding them up a bit, and Brandon will be trying to get past and hoping that he can maybe get past, because those front guys seem to have opened a gap already. You see Brandon going on the inside, setting himself up for the next corner.
Yeah, down in the hairpin, turn number 10.
A good drive there, gets on the inside, and looks like Rudy's going to follow him. Rudi does follow him, and looks like he also gets past Pete there.
Look at that, Ross to the inside now, going back up the hill into turn 11. So Pete absolutely swamped that time round as Ross gets a little bit of a tank slapper as they head back up the hill. It does look like we've lost JohannVdV as well. He was down in 12th.
So not a good evening there for Johan, exiting both races very early on. So we'll have to check what's going on with his perhaps having a bad internet connection of some sort.
So back to the front, and Mal Jacques, Rockstar Mal. Sure, this will be a very long name to call him.
Looks like Brandon made a mistake there. Sorry, Dylan, and Rudi and Ross have managed to get past.
So now this is where Brandon needs to just recompose himself, not try any crazy maneuvers, and just start working his way back up the field. There's a move on the inside there. That is Ross on the inside of Rudi. And Brandon has followed through there, but now Rudi on the inside. Ross will be able to go around the outside with Brandon following right up behind Ross. They're just about touching.
No.
So they do see each other and straighten up once again. Will Rudi still have a look to the inside?
Brandon goes
out
on
the grass.
Oh, okay, so that's the end of that little battle. Brandon unfortunately getting it a bit out of shape there, and that's cost him now 3 places essentially. But this battle between Ross and Rudi, still a fierce one to say the least. Ross giving it all he can, and the way he's throwing that car around, I don't think those tires are going to last very long, Dylan.
No, I'm actually getting a little bit anxious, and not only just for Ross, but also for Rudi for Simstuff Racing, because what essentially happens, those tires get so hot, they start losing their grip, and the way I could explain it, feels like you're driving on sponge.
Absolutely. You see Ross trying to get the power on there early, but the back of that car not allowing him to. But now onto the back of Rudi, and trying with all his might to find a better line to try and get some speed out that Camaro. And we see Brandon in the background also getting a bit squirrely. But out in front, Rockstar Mal opening up a 1.3 second gap on Sarge. Sarge actually doing really well in the Ferrari.
Yep. And don't forget, we've got Louis in 3rd place.
That's right.
I'm sure he's very happy with the battle that continues going on behind him.
No, for sure. Good start from him so far. Still a long race left to go. I say that there's 11 minutes, so those 9 minutes have just disappeared.
Completely.
I can't believe that. So almost halfway through this race, and some good battles still going on here between Ross and Rudi. Ross gets it a little bit wide there, but manages to correct it, and we see Brandon now on the back of is it Sly Pete. He has to pass him all over again after making that little mistake earlier in the race. He goes on the inside and thinks about the overtake. Pete much wiser this time and closes the door, but Brandon shoots back on the inside and makes the pass stick. So a good move there by Brandon on Sly Pete. And we see just behind him that's is that Robert in the number 12 car there. Trying to keep up with the guys right in front then, but also battling to get the power down there.
Yeah, I saw that when he had turned in.
Oh.
Rear, let go. There goes Colin. Just keep it off the wall there, Colin. So now
Colin showing us how to drift a Ferrari. Well done.
Yeah, so he has allowed Dane to go past him. But now Colin's going to have a ref right up behind, or alongside him, or so right up behind him. But it looks like you try and go around the outside. But ref not able to do it at this time round.
Yeah, the battle of the Ferraris at the back here, but up in front we got Louis with Rudi right on the back of him. So Rudi has found a hell of a lot of pace and has managed to close that gap. Goes on the inside.
Looks like
will he have a better drive? You're going to tuck him behind Louis, try to get that slipstream. Let's see if he dives in on the inside, and looks like he's going for it. Louis goes a bit wide, and Rudi deciding to take the tighter line. Let's see who will get the better exit here. It looks like
Louis should get it because he'll be on the inside now.
Well, Rudi managed to get a better exit, I think. Let's just see who can get a better entry into the next one. It looks like Rudi has managed to pull that off, so a good move there by Rudi. And it looks like Ross has dropped off the pace, but he's slipping and sliding around. So I think those early couple of laps may have first hurt his tires a bit, and now he's battling.
You could just see how that car was twitching as he came out of turn 5. That, on the power, it lets go the one way, it grabs, it goes back the other way. Constantly fighting on this track is what the theme of this evening is. Brandon down in 6th place. You can see that he is just about sideways through that transition from turn 6 into turn 7.
So he's looks like he's also pushing really hard to catch these guys out in front, and he's not too far off the pace, but he's running out of time with only 8 minutes left on the clock. Rudi now sees Sarge. And Sarge will probably see Rudi in his mirrors, closing ever so slightly, and I think we're going to see a battle for the 2nd position really soon. As you see a different line there by Sarge in the Ferrari, and that just allowed Rudi to close that gap a little bit.
Ooh, you can see Ross in the background. Yo, very, very sideways.
Yeah, a bit tail happy.
I think what has happened with Louis is that with Rudi now having gone in front of him, is that I think Louis is going to start going quicker. I just want to see what happens when they cross the start-finish line now. Because it's Rudi 115 and 117. Okay, so not what I thought. What I was worried about is that Rudi starts pulling Louis with him, and that puts Sarge under way more pressure.
Whoa, I think somebody's just gone off there.
That Sarge
Unfortunately making a mistake there on the first corner, and that's completely upset his race. So a bit unlucky. Sarge was doing really well. He was fighting in 2nd position, and now that's dropped him way back into 7th, and he may have picked up damage for his efforts there as well. But that's now moved Rudi up into 2nd position, but out in front with a massive lead of 6 seconds, Rockstar Mal with a commanding lead at the moment, and seems to have this race in the bag, but anything can happen, as we saw poor Ryan there unfortunately losing it on this first corner and ended up in the wall.
It's all about the tires. It's all about the way. What are those tires doing? How hard are you willing to push? As Ross has a huge snap, and that is the end of him. So Ross now down into 6th place, and that's the unpredictability that does come in. I do see that Johan is saying no, that he's having issues with his internet, so apologies, Johan. We don't like seeing drivers having to leave during the race. So Robert now in 6th place. There's Ross off again. So Ross is having an absolute nightmare of an evening here. He is now down in a 9th position.
I think his tyres are pretty much done, just from what we saw from the first couple of laps. Did not look after those tyres, and unfortunately now it's showing.
But that's the thing, is that once you go sideways and they heat up and then you spin it, those tyres have just gathered so much heat. It is so difficult as Sarge catches a big slide there.
Absolutely, Dylan, and even from that spin it would have made things 10 times worse. So we'll see him in the background again, getting it sideways there. So yeah, unfortunately that is most likely the end of the race for Ross. So still way in front at the moment is Rockstar Mal, keeping that gap the same between himself and Rudi. Still in 3rd position, and a good drive by Louis, followed by Brandon, who I'm sure will be kicking himself for making that bit of a problem for himself early on in the race. But still has a chance here to catch Louis.
Yeah, Brandon is just, 1.5 seconds away there. So he could still chase him down. But just looking at the pace that they're going, so Brandon is just a couple of tenths off the pace. So he's going to have to do a little bit more, because we've only got 2 laps left of this race.
Yeah, thinking about that, he's dropped down even further now, so it's going to be really difficult for him to close that gap. I mean, he was essentially only 1/2 second faster than Louis on that last lap, so, and with 2 laps left, he needs to be at least 1.5 seconds quicker than Louis in order to close him, before they close on him and get past him before the end of this race. Oh, there we see Robert getting a bit sideways. I'm not too sure if he managed to hold on. It looks like he has.
He did manage to catch that.
So well done to Robert. And here we're driving on board with Silverback MTB in good race for him in 9th position, so in the top 10. Although we have lost a couple of drivers.
So there's Colin getting that Ferrari very sideways, and unfortunately it just over rotates as he exits to go back up the hill. That turn number 12, it's actually tighter than you think. It feels like a 90-degree turn, but because of your entry through turn number 11, it does just tighten that exit a little bit up for you.
Absolutely. So Rudi still chasing down Rockstar Mal, but that gap has looks like it has increased. I don't think Rockstar Mal would have had much fighting up in front. He seems to have had a pretty clean and smooth race, and that's allowed him just to pull away with a good time there, best lap there of a 2:13.9. So just showing us what he's capable of.
Yep, that is a really good time. And I'm pretty sure that we will see Rockstar Mal in the Alpha tier for the next season, and teaming up with Dirkie once again.
Yeah, for sure. He's definitely an Alpha tier driver. But we know he has been out of racing for a couple of seasons. So to get back in it again, it takes a bit of time. And now he's showing his full potential. So there's Brandon now in 4th position, still trying to close up on Louis.
But Louis not making it easy at all. 2 seconds is that gap. So Louis just needs to hang on for one more race. race, one more lap of this race.
Sorry, Dylan. I know it's been a long day. I'm feeling it too now. So we see Louis on the final lap there, having a fantastic race. I'm not sure. I think this would probably be his one of his best finishes.
Well, he'll have two back-to-back thirds, so we'll definitely be chatting to him in the commentary box, and it all depends on whether it is Brandon or Rudi that will have scored enough points, but definitely we will be chatting to Louis in the next couple of minutes.
So Rockstar Mal on his final lap now, keeping it nice and tidy. And we have Rudi right behind him. Say right behind him, but almost 8 seconds.
Come on, Louis, you've got a few more corners to go. Brandon is closing up on the back of him as he exits. That curve on the outside is not where you want to be putting the car. Now they'll head down towards the hairpin, turn number 10. And this corner definitely feels like it goes on forever and ever and ever. Then it is back up the hill through turns number 11, which is a horrible little entry. Then the corner will open up for you into turn number 12.
So Brandon trying with all his might to try to close that gap, to try to get that final position on the podium. With 2 corners left to go.
So
and there's Rockstar Mal.
Crosses the line in first place.
Rudi comes home in second there. Well done to Rudi for a good drive from 6th position to first. And there's Louis, manages to hold on for the 3rd position, getting on the podium, followed closely by Brandon. 5th position, Sly Pete, followed by Robert. Then in 7th position, Sarge with that unfortunate spin. And 8th position, we have Dane, followed by Silverback MDB in 9th position. So Colin still with a way to go to finish his race, but on the same lap as the leaders. Oh, my apologies, no, he seems to be... Whoa, and then we see he gets it a bit sideways, and...
So that's he is in the last couple of corners, so he is right there.
He actually just needs to finish across the line. Will he have enough time? 10 seconds left in the clock, and he does manage to get over the line for that final position. So there you have it, guys. A brilliant race there for Rockstar Mal, with a good time there of a best time of a 2-minute 13.9. In second position on the podium, Rudi, and 3rd, Louis, and I'm sure we're going to see more from Louis as he becomes more and more familiar with the SARCO racing. In 4th position, Brandon DeSantos, a good drive, but unfortunately making a couple of mistakes would cost him. And 5th position, Sly Pete, 6th, Robert, 7th, Ryan, 8th, Dane, 9th, Silverback MTB, and in 10th position, Colin.
So interestingly enough, Ashley, is that we've got Rudi, Brandon. So Rudi, he wins the evening on 55 points. Brandon DeSantos, 43 for him. And then Rockstar Mal, 42, tied with Louis. So I think we'll get all 4 of them into the chat party.
Okay. Tyler.
Okay, guys, so we are just going to be getting the drivers in our Discord. So welcome everybody. What an amazing evening. We do have 4 drivers in here this evening, and that's purely because we've got Rockstar Mal, who landed up taking the win in the second heat. But with him doing that, he actually tied points with Louis, and Louis back-to-back third places. Let's go to you, Louis. Great result there for you. Looked like you were having an almighty battle, not quite by yourself, but always just trying to keep that gap. How did you enjoy that race?
Yeah, it was absolutely phenomenal. It was fantastic. The pressure was on. You just blink and the guys are on top of you. So really, the pressure was there. I buckled the end there, but I managed to just keep it in line and bring it home on third place. So yeah, thanks to everyone. It was fantastic racing.
No, absolutely awesome. Let's go to you, Brandon. A very tricky race. Your second heat, I think, just let you down just a little bit, trying to force too many places too earlier on, and it looks like you might have just overheated those tires, and then that just made it very, very difficult for you to compete.
Yeah, I just pushed it a little bit too hard right in the beginning. I had to let the tires cool down for a lap or so, and then I could start pushing again. But once I started going, then yeah, it was proper.
No, look, absolutely fantastic, a great drive there for you. Let's go to you, Rudi. Fastest overall in terms of getting those points. Also a very tricky race, the second heat, having to fight your way through the field, and then having your arch nemesis, so to say, Maljak, fighting you all the way to the end there.
Yeah, it was the same as Brandon. Tires were too hot, and yeah, by the time I got to second, Jock was gone. We couldn't get close to his lap times.
No, look, it was an absolutely amazing battle, watching you carving your way through that field. And then let's go. Yes, sorry, Jacques. We've been absolutely ruining and killing your name this whole time, because it's Rockstar Mal, then it's Maljak. So I'm so sorry. One day we'll get it right and just go, there goes Rockstar Mal, without even thinking about it. We can't hear you, Jacques. What's going on?
Yeah, I can hear me now.
Oh, man.
Yeah, no, whatever you call me, it's fine. I don't worry. So, yeah.
Maybe we'll just call you ROC, and then I just got to read your name, and then I'm fine.
No, that's also fine.
Guys, thank you so much. Absolutely fantastic racing. Absolutely awesome to watch. And thank you for putting on an absolutely great show for us. Really do appreciate all the effort from you guys, and getting those guys racing hard, but racing close and racing fair. Absolutely awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No, thank you, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Thank you.
Guys.
Okay, bye.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
So guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We really do appreciate everybody that does join us on the live stream. To our sponsor, Simstuff Racing, thank you very much for your support. It's always awesome just to see when our small businesses get behind the online racing community. This is why we do it. We do it because we enjoy the racing and can't get enough of it. Thank you to all our directors that helped us through the evening, as well as Ashley for helping with the commentary, and Pete as well for your also just getting you into the deep end and just helping you with some commentary there as well. Guys, thank you very much. Any last words from you, Ashley?
As I always like to end off, guys, if you do want to get involved, please go check out our website, Facebook page. You can watch us on YouTube, and yeah, check out our merchandise. These cool caps, we've got that up for offer, and also some cool water bottles and some face masks if you guys need to protect yourself from COVID.
100. Oh, what's going on here? 100%. So guys, what I can say is we'll see you on Thursday night, and yes, our sound is fixed. Thank you everybody for your patience, and until then, thanks for watching. Yos.
Cheers, guys.